So, if you are visiting Mallorca for the rest of the holiday season, do not ignore this video. And I've got some really important information if you're coming over in the next few weeks, running up to the 31st of October. Plus, I've got news of unexpected strikes actually taking place on the island too. I also have for you the cruise news as well. We've got big things coming this week in Palma. Plus, I've got the all-important weather forecast for the week ahead. But I'm starting this video over here on Santa Ponsa Beach. And well, we can see a little bit of a change in weather taking place. The island is on yellow and amber alerts here. And well, I'm going to get on to more about that later on in my weather forecast for the week ahead. I'm going to start this video actually as a continuation from last week's video, because I did put out a pickpocket warning for any holidaymakers coming over to the island in the next few weeks, right on the run up to the end of the season. As you know, and as I mentioned, we've got more wealthier, older holidaymakers coming over, and well, you guys frankly are prime targets for the low-life pickpocketers that we do have still operating here in Mallorca. And the reason I'm making this video as well is that tomorrow, on the 30th of September, marks the end of Operación Verano, which is basically the end of Operation Summer, which means that the increase in police presence that we have on the island for the summer season will come to an end. Now, admittedly, this has mainly been over on the Playa de Palma, over in the Arenal area, to combat a lot of illegal street sellers. But what's needed is a police presence in many of our key resorts, such as Puerto Pollens, Cala Millor, Port de Soller, and even around Andrach as well, because this is where we're finding the majority of these crimes taking place. Now, I cannot see the logic of reducing police presence, especially in some of Mallorca's key resorts. It's going to tarnish the reputation as well of some of our key resorts as well as being safe places to come to. They are safe. I just have to say, this kind of petty theft that we've been experiencing, it isn't violence, but it is very, very annoying, and it doesn't feel like very much has been done about it. And I have to admit as well to seeing a very low police presence. In fact, I haven't even seen the police presence over in Puerto Pollens this summer. I've seen the Guardia Civil driving through the resorts, but I haven't seen feet on the streets, I haven't seen feet on the Pine Walk, and I haven't seen a police in the marketplaces either. So I want to highlight a comment that a holidaymaker left on the channel yesterday. It's actually on my cheap eats behind Puerto Pollens Beach. Go and check out that video if you haven't done so already. But Rodney left this comment here. He said, "Please be aware of pickpockets in Pollensa. I've just had my wallet stolen from the bus stop close to the market today on the 28th of September, and that's a nightmare." But I did ask him for a little bit more detail, and he said, yes, reported to the police. Unfortunately, we're carrying our cash and 3 credit cards. He tackled the suspect, but the wallet had already been passed to someone else. Credit cards were being used within minutes of the theft. We are okay, but very shaken and distraught. Please continue to warn people. I knew the problem from your YouTube videos, but they're very clever, and we've always prided ourselves on being safety cautious, but they've proved us wrong. Take care, everyone out there. They're bad people around. Now, yesterday, the market took place in Pollensa Old Town. Over in Puerto Pollens, another day to look out for is the Wednesday market, which takes place on Wednesday morning over in the port. But please listen to what Rodney has said. He's well aware of my videos. He's well aware of the warnings that I've put out. But on a busy market day, you are going to find pickpocketers around and taking advantage of holidaymakers who may actually just be a little bit off guard just for a moment. Also, as well, my warning remains: do not go anywhere on this island with all your credit or debit cards or all bank cards or whatever. Do not take out all your cash with you or important documents. Leave them back locked safely in your hotel safe. Please do that. Just take a little bit of cash out with you, maybe take 1 card with you, or even if you just have your card loaded onto your phone. But please don't take everything out, because if you get that wallet pinched, you're going to lose everything. Also as well, you know, these guys are professionals. They're working the relay here. It's like, take a wallet, pass it back to someone else, that gets passed back, and then that person's gone. as well. And I put this warning out in a video earlier on this summer. They may even just nip round the corner and change a shirt or put a baseball hat on and then suddenly become instantly unrecognisable. So also please bear that in mind as well. Just don't be in a position where these guys can steal from you, and hang on to your stuff if you're at a busy bus stop or you're in a busy marketplace. Other comments I've had on the channel last week from Hazel. She said, we were targeted on the Pine Walk in Puerto Pollens in April. A chap asked us to take a photo of him. We walked on, but a little way down, a girl approached us and asked if we had change. Another one appeared, and my husband could sense her trying to unzip the bag he was carrying. He only had water and sunglasses and hats in it. He gave her some choice words and they scuttled off. Our friend, and this is actually the important bit, our friend, the receptionist in the Illador, said the police know who they are, but they won't do anything about it. I mean, that's just incredible. These pickpocketers are well known in Puerto Pollens, and they're not being kept off the streets. So I'm turning to you. I'm actually turning to any professionals out there, actually, if you know of anything that can be done, actually, any steps that our holiday makers can take to try and avoid being pickpocketed. I do have little pickpocket clips in my Amazon holiday shop that you can put onto your bag, which makes it a little bit harder to open your backpack. But you know, the warnings continue. Over on the Facebook group, Pollens Now, there was a warning. I was sat on the wall looking through my photos I'd just taken, and then I heard a zip on my backpack being opened. I spun round and confronted the young man. He said, "Your backpack is open." I said, "It is now, you bleep," and he shot off. All I had was my camera and lens I was holding. He'd undone one of the zips without me knowing, so please be careful out there. Same happening over in Cala Millor. I was targeted last week in Cala Millor, walking along the seafront, where my shoulder bag was opened by a man and a woman behind me. It was very quiet, but they were walking right in front of me and far too close. I clocked them, slid the bag round to my front and sped off quickly. Cala Millor as well, lots of reports of pickpocketers over there as well. I know Mark on the What's On in Cala Millor Facebook group as well. He put a post there the other day. Go and check that out. Also on the channel, we were on the beach in Socoma, which neighbours Cala Millor, and someone had their bag taken with all their stuff, including their phones, passports and money, and the people who did it were sitting next to us. I mean, it's a sad day when you have to worry about who you're sitting next to on the beach. Jennifer Juniper, a wonderful name here. My sister and I were in Palma and Palmanova earlier this month. She had a man try and get in her handbag. We were looking at souvenirs in the shop when she felt a tug on the bag. My instincts kicked in and I yelled "pickpocket" at the top of my lungs, and he ran off. Brian as well commented on the channel, and he said that he's seen pickpockets over at the bus stop in Port de Soyer as well. So this is ongoing. This is very much ongoing. Nothing's been done about it. So I'm going to leave the final comment here, which basically sums up. It's from a subscriber name called Flyer, @Flyer. He said, "It's sad when you're in Mallorca and you feel like you're in paradise, but the reality is that crime exists there just like everywhere. So please bear that in mind. If you feel anyone's too close to you, take a step away, avoid them, look after your stuff, keep your hands on your wallet, keep your hands on your bag, and also don't fall for the old €2, have you got change for €2? And anyone asking to get your wallet out, just don't do it, because you could end up being another pickpocketing victim." Anyway, I will still keep making these videos on the channel. I know you don't like them, but if this stops one viewer from being pickpocketed, then it's worth it. So anyway, let's jump down now onto the beach. Let's go and get some more views of Santa Ponsa. I've got some more news for you. So in spite of the clouds bubbling up and the incoming rain, we do have a lovely warm day over here in Santa Ponsa. More on that later. But now I have some more strike news for you. So I've just come into the shade because actually in the sunshine it's still very hot over here. Anyway, moving on, I do have some strike news for you, and it's of an unexpected strike taking place so late in the summer season, and that is striking lifeguards in two of Mallorca's municipalities. So in Palma, and that's going to be affecting resorts such as Cala Millor and also the Playa de Palma area. We're also going to have striking lifeguards in Calvia, affecting Palmanova, Santa Ponsa, Magaluf, for example. How is this going to affect you? Well, I'm going to put out the warning just to be extra careful on the beaches, particularly if you're coming over here for the half-term break with your kids. Keep an eye on your kids if they are in the sea. I always say never rely upon the lifeguard to lifeguard literally thousands of people on the beach anyway, but what you need to look out for actually is an orange flag flying. Now, there has been promised that a minimum service would be maintained. There may well be cases where we see this orange flag flying, and that means that a lifeguard is not present on the beach. So why is this strike taking place? Well, it's because apparently, as has been reported by the media, lifeguards face unreasonable overtime demands, and also as well pay is just not in any way in line with inflation, and lifeguards have issued the warning that a life is worth less and less to this government, because essentially these guys are saving lives. They're not doing a kind of a fluffy, non-important job. They are actually, and they have saved lives, and their job is absolutely crucial over here in Mallorca, but they do feel like they are being underpaid as well, particularly in line with the housing crisis that we have over here on the island. And it's also been reported that many workers are being forced to live in caravans, and even on the beaches that they're working on, which is just incredible. I mean, it is incredible. So as we roll on through the summer season, it seems that there are more and more incidents of discontent rippling throughout Europe, and well, this is just another case of what's going on. Let's hope their salaries do go up, because like I said, these guys do save lives, but also, like I said as well, just take a little bit of extra care if you're out swimming in the water, particularly if you're over here with children on the run up to the end of the season. Also as well, just a quick reminder, next week I still see that the French air traffic control strikes are still scheduled to take place between the 7th and the 10th of October, and that's inclusive of those dates. It's going to be a horrible week for travelling by the looks of it, so please take note of that and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I'll try and bring you more news about that next week as well, and try and help you navigate your way through the airport, but fingers crossed, you know, maybe that won't go ahead. Okay, so what else have we got going on this week? Well, it is going to be a very busy week on the island. We have estimated coming into the port of Palma for this week 50,000, in the region of 50,000 cruise ship passengers. If you're planning your day out in Palma, well, you're hopefully going to miss the busiest day, which is today. Monday the 29th, we've got 13,000 cruise ship passengers. The quietest day is expected to be Sunday the 5th, and also Thursday isn't looking too busy either. However, we are going to have, I did mention big things coming, and that is going to be in the form of the world's largest aircraft carrier, which is scheduled to anchor in Palma Bay from the 3rd to the 8th of October. And this is the USS General R.F. Ford, and they will be bringing in 4,500 sailors. And the local media are claiming as well that each of these sailors will be spending between 200 and 400 euros a day. So this really is big business for Mallorca. Just have to say as well, sailors, if you are out and about, particularly around the islands, and you do see anyone being pickpocketed, please go ahead and step in, stop those pickpocketers, maybe escort them off to the police station, but you know, something needs to be done. And I'm pretty sure those pickpocketers will be giving you guys a wide berth. But have a good time if you're coming over to Mallorca. Enjoy your trip here. But I'm going to move on now to the big question, and that is, what is the weather going to be like this week? However, I have received a storm warning on my phone this morning, and that's for tomorrow the 30th of September. Could be a little bit of chaos over at the airport. If we do have heavy rain, we could see flights being delayed. But anyway, let's see what happens there. Keep an eye out for any warnings as well. I'll try and give you warnings when I have them too. But if there is a weather warning in place, try not to venture too far from your resort. You will find yourself being caught up in traffic, and also caught up with loads of people visiting Palma too. And I do believe as well this storm coming is the leftovers of Hurricane Gabrielle, which hit the Caribbean, was it a week ago, maybe a few weeks ago, so watch out for that. But just taking a look at the rest of the weather forecast, I have to say the week is looking mixed. We may expect a few more showers as the week goes on. We will have plenty plenty of sunshine. There will be a little bit of cloud, but we will have highs of 27 degrees Celsius. I mean, this is really a lovely time of year to visit just because of the slightly milder temperatures. Evening lows, we're expecting 16 degrees Celsius. Make sure you bring out some clothes for cooler evenings. Okay, everyone, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to head on out of here today. I can see the clouds bubbling up in front of me. In the meantime, if you're travelling over this week, travel safe. Also follow me on the Facebook group and on Instagram, also called Mallorca Under the Sun. I'm going to drop a couple of videos appearing both here and here to help you out with your holiday. Okay everyone, I'm heading off now. Thanks for watching and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Goodbye for now.